Gaming Roundtable. I am the favorite YouTube personality, or one of the millions, as a matter of fact, out there. Thank you, subscribers, for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for liking. Please comment after the video. This is episode 54. Season 2 continues with Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 news. I have loaded it up. The load times are improved. There was a 15 gig update total for this game. Just to let you know that it fixed a ton of things that were like not happening with this game, and they have done a great job in improving the game's dynamic lighting and UI, and the list is innumerous. I mean, the lighting and everything. Look at that. Look how sharp and highly detailed now things are. They got newer. So much about the game has been improved, but that's not really the news that I want to talk about. City Interactive recently announced that they were not. They said that they felt like that they bit off more than they can chew with Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 in the open world, because the game did get a quote-unquote lackluster kind of launch, I guess you could say. It had issues when it launched, and it wasn't like the most perfect game. There was YouTubers even pointing out things like, if you got so far to a character, you would see, like, I guess the AI's walking pattern from left to right, or whatever their trail was. But if you left the area this right outside that, where you couldn't really make a long distance shot, and then went back in, you would see that they would respawn out of the game. I mean, and then respawn back in and start that all over again. And there was some issues, and yeah, those were true. That was true. I never felt it detracted from the game personally. That's just my personal opinion. And I still enjoyed the game because it did remind me a lot of, it reminded me a lot of Far Cry and those. And he's gone. Let's watch this. Yeah, you're doomed. The thing is that when the game came out, it was. And some reviews were actually fairly decent, and some were pretty critical. And I really liked the game because it did remind me a lot of the Far Cry games with its open world. But it didn't play exactly like that, but it was very similar. I love first-person shooters that are open world. I think I've always liked Far Cry, and do that. And Sniper Ghost Warrior, though, had the tactical thing and the crafting and all the stuff that you can do, and had a good voice acting and story. And City Interactive, being a Polish developer, really, I think, did do a good job in this. Now, the news I'm going to talk about is they basically came out and said they made some mistakes, and they felt like maybe they bit off more than they could chew, and that the next Sniper Ghost Warrior that they do, which will be Sniper Ghost Warrior 4, obviously, is going to be more linear and not open world, to focus in on the more tactical elements and things like that, which is what the first two games were like. And I really liked the first game and the second game, but after playing the third one, it's like the open world aspect is so much better than a linear aspect, because unless they're going to do a Crysis-like thing where it's linear, where progression, where you have to go, but then when you get to the area to do whatever objectives, it's very open, not open world, but a very big area with verticality and things like that. I personally like the fact that they did open world on this. I really do. I think, really think it's sad that they're not going to do another one open world, because they feel like that maybe that as a small company that they can't do it. They can't do it well, and I think that's a shame, because Interactive should take a look at this game and say, okay, let's do another open world game on Sniper Ghost Warrior 4, but we'll take what we've learned and improved upon that, just as Rockstar has done with GTA, and has improved upon their open world formula, just like the creators of Mafia, how they had done the same thing, and so on and so forth. For them to drop, City Interactive to drop the entire thing, to drop the entire thing in its entirety and say we're not going to do it, is just really, to me, I think is kind of a cop-out. It's like, man, it's a bitch move. You should totally, really consider continuing and to improve upon the open world formula. I think if you're going to make a linear formula, honestly, and you're just going to have that go on. I think it would be great if if they just improve upon it. I think it's sad that they haven't, and and that they're just going to drop the whole thing altogether. And I really wish that they wouldn't. I wish they would just, because I really, to this day, I hold this game up in pretty high regard. It's got great lighting, it's got great texture work. The zooms are great. You can see the individual like craters on the moon. I mean, that to me is just really cool to be able to see. It's got good foliage, dynamics, the crafting system, the graphics, the improvements in the UI, the improvements with everything the game has, including leveling up your character and devoting to building your sniper a certain way, and the vehicles and the world itself, because it's a very big map. It's a very large world. Even though this doesn't look like a big area, as you progress through the game, this will open up more and more and more, and the game gets very big and very large. And yeah, I don't know. I just wish that they would go to that. I wish they would. They're probably not going to, but I would love to see. I would love to see them do that, because that's how I kind of feel about it. And I really think it's a shame that they're going to drop the whole open world, because they feel like that they messed this up. And I'm going to tell you, City Interactive, you didn't mess this up at all. This was your first open world game, and you're going to make mistakes, and there's going to be bugs and flaws, and all that stuff's been fixed. Like, all of it's been fixed with the patches and updates, everything that was wrong. So I think it'd be great if people would go back and re-review it, but that's obviously not going to happen. And I wish they would, but they just don't. And it really sucks, because I would love to see them do that, and just to improve upon their formula, do what they've got to do. But unfortunately, we're not going to see them do another open world game, and they may never. And I think that'd be a crying shame, because this game is really good. It's a lot of fun to play. I enjoy it immensely. I think it's a great game, personally. But I think it's because it does remind me very heavily. It reminds me a lot of the Far Cry series. It has that aspect just as much as I really loved Homefront Revolution, because Homefront Revolution does the same thing. It's an open world kind of first person shooter, and I love those. Those are great. Those are great games. And City Interactive, you probably will never hear or know about me as far as I'm concerned with what I am as a YouTuber. But I really, really wish that you would reconsider. And I really wish that you would embrace it and improve upon your open world formula, because it is a really well designed, well developed world. It's with interesting characters, lighting, locale, everything that goes on in it. I think is really, really cool. And I would love to see more of this realized, because it has aspects of Far Cry, aspects of Tom Clancy games, aspects and the good aspects of those, aspects of Far Cry. And again, I wish you all would embrace that. And that's basically the Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 news, because that's the news from City Interactive, the people who made this. They're just like, no, we don't want to do open world. We want to go back to what we were doing. And I think that's a shame, because this series deserves to stay in the open world, in my opinion. I think it would be great if it did stay that way. I would love that, But sometimes you're not gonna. Sometimes you don't get what you want. And I just wrecked and died. But anyway, and that's basically the news I wanted to bring to you YouTubers. It's something that just came out recently, and I really wish that, because I really have sold this game to a lot of people. I've talked very good about this game to people. You can pick up it for $25 now. pre-owned. The Season Pass edition is the only version of the game that came out, by the way. You get the Season Pass for free. You had to put the code in if you bought it new. But what I'm saying is, they improved the load times. They improved all this stuff. If you go to the page, you can see all the stuff that they updated. It's really remarkable that CD Interactive really went out of their way to give us a really good experience. But even from day one, I felt like the game was a really well-designed experience. Like, I never felt like it was a bad game in any shape or systems, but it's short. You're immediately thrown in the open road. You can do whatever you wish from the beginning. The fact that there's a side quest that you can take, and they did a really good job on the voice acting. They did a really good job on the music. It really feels like you're in a foreign country. I mean, it's just these aspects that really seem to work for me personally, and it's such a shame, in my opinion, that's what we're gonna. That they're not going to embrace the open world thing anymore. And I just wanted to bring you all some just real brief news about Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. CD Interactive is also going to be publishing Lords of the Fallen 2. They've already stated that they are working on said game, and they are going to be publishing it real soon. So I think that's great. And I'm such a big fan of Lords of the Fallen. For them to do a second game, I am really much looking forward to that. And that's some other news from CD Interactive that you may or may not be aware of. So that's basically what's going on. And I do appreciate you tuning into the short video, showing you a little bit of Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, telling about the news. And I tell me what you think. If you played the game or not, do you think CD Interactive should build upon what they've already built to make a better open world game, or should they just abandon it like they are? I just wish they wouldn't. And anyway, this has been JuiceMan3941. Thanks for taking a seat at the Gaming Roundtable for a quick little video. I'll be back shortly here in a little bit with a little bit longer video. And like as always, gamers, it's beer in the throat time. See, because that's what America's about, my friends. Beer in the throat time. And as always, gamers, good gaming to you.